Q4 is the most exciting time of the year for us print-on-demand sellers. We can sell as much as we have sold during the whole year in just the months of October, November, and December. So in today's video, I'll go over one product category that totally explodes during the holidays, but it's kind of underexplored. Let's get into it. So the product category that I'm referring to is Christmas stockings. So this is actually a product category that is not that well talked about on the web, at least not that I've heard of. However, I do want to say that in early September, it's actually doing massive sales already. So let's just search for Christmas stockings here. And I'm a seller that lives in Sweden, so I gotta make sure that it says ships to the United States. Sort by physical items and then apply the star seller badge. And then instead of having star in the search bar here, you swap out star for best. And that gives you the best sellers for a given niche. Now, all of these are already bestsellers. So there are already now in early September here, lots of bestsellers for Christmas stockings. And the main thing that I've found with this whole niche is that it is personalized, that you have a personalized name and then combining that with some sort of design. In some cases like this one, you don't even need to have a design, it's just the specific name. But personalization in this niche is something that I would say is key. And just to gauge some demand, I'll use my trusty Alora here. And the best thing in my opinion about Alora is you can actually see how much they've sold, but in a given time, and how much it actually peaks during specific times. And that's the one thing that I really love about this software. The thing with these kind of products is that you sell almost nothing during the whole year, but then as Christmas starts to trickle in, sales kind of ramp up. So this one do massive amounts of sales in Q4. So remember, these are projections, not always super exact, but they are usually accurate projections. And during 2023, it seems to have done over 1,000 sales in just December alone, just this specific one. But let's take one here where we can actually add some value and do our own version of it. Let's see here. This one could be something. Yep, all of these peak, as I mentioned, during the holidays. And I mean, these are already bestsellers, and the total amount of revenue here, just to gauge it, the first one here has done over $1 million projection in all-time sales. So over $1 million, just this specific listing, $583,000 all-time here, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, they listed it somewhere here in late 2023. I mean, 21,000 sales in just over a year is kind of crazy. This one has done $431,000, and that's within a span of also like over a year. So Christmas stockings is definitely something that is hugely in demand. Now, we gotta add some value to this niche to actually make something of it, but before we can even do that, we gotta head to Printify to see if there's any margins to be made. So first off, we go to Printify, we search for Christmas stocking, and it's mainly this one that I'd use. So here's that one. It costs $12.29. Let's go to the trusty Alora Etsy calculator here. So it's basically, I always count on the Printify premium price, as it's really hard to get this profitable without these margins, in my opinion. So that plus shipping is $6.99, so 19.28. Let's see here. Let's take, for instance, if people are making stuff in-house, they can charge a lot less because they're doing it in-house. So that kind of skews this research a little bit, so just keep that in mind. In my chosen currency, which is, since I live in Sweden, it's gonna be kronor, since that's the currency in where I live. And that's because I don't want to incur conversion fees. So I always have to convert it just to get a sense of what it actually costs. This one, weirdly enough, does not seem to include VAT, which is really weird. Yeah, it usually says that it should include VAT, but this one does not, it seems. So this one is basically almost $28, just to round it out. Yeah, so there's some profit that can be made here. I'd like to see a higher profit margin, but we can definitely like add our own value to it and see if we can make something else. Let's take one more just to gauge if there's like what the price people usually are charging at, so we can get a sense of the market. Let's go here again to Alora to speed up this process. Let's take this one, and this is shipped to the US. This one costs a lot more, like a lot more, if I'm thinking correctly here. Okay, that one charged a lot of money for those stockings. Let's take this one, also charge a lot. Let's see here if, like, do you get 4 when you buy these? These should be per stocking. So, okay. This is including VAT. Yeah, now it makes sense. When it includes VAT, like it does for me when I live in Sweden, I have to deduct that first. So I take that, add that here. And this one costs basically 7.71. And let's see, just to double check if this actually, yeah, the listing price is for one stocking. Okay, cool. So they charge a hell of a lot for these stockings, in my opinion. So it's a 60% margin here that we can actually make something out of. So there's a huge market to be delved into for this Q4 when it comes to Christmas stockings, and lots of margins to be made. So how to add value into a specific niche is that we always got to combine different best-selling elements and add that onto a stocking where these elements haven't actually been combined in that way before. So to make this easy, we need to have personalization in it. So the first thing that we got to do here is just to make a best-selling elements list here. So the most important thing, it seems, with these is that they are personalized with a name. You can also personalize better with a date too. So for instance, pregnancy announcement stuff could be really good for these, but personalized is key with a name. Now, what I would do here is go to a different niche that's a bit bigger and see if I can find some elements that I could combine into something new within the Christmas stocking niche. So we go to Christmas sweatshirt here instead. Gotta filter this by physical items, star seller, and then we go to swap out star for best in the search bar here. We fast track this with the Alora Etsy calculator. So what we want to find here is like common denominators within listings and see if we can combine these elements to create something that's new. So one thing that I mentioned a lot on my channel is that the college font with a white outline is doing very well. So college font, white outline, same here. And I just figured that if we go back to Christmas stocking, we do the same thing, ship to the US, really important. Otherwise the search, like the things that actually pop up in search are skewed if we don't have it shipped to the US, if that's our target market. Swap out star for best, go to our trusty Alora here. And now almost all of these have a cursive font. We did find that the cursive font has done super well on sweatshirts, so probably can do very well with a personalized name on a Christmas stocking. So yeah, there's almost no here within the bestsellers. So what I would do here now is I would go to Canva. I would then go to make a design that's 4500 by 5400. Those are the dimensions that Amazon uses and it works super well there. So I use it for Etsy too. And now we go to Creative Fabrica. We need a college font here. Creative Fabrica is always the thing that I use for all my fonts. I have a link in the description if you want to use that. But I think this one looks great up here, or this one, the second pointed one, or this one. Yeah, this one looks really good. Let's take this one. And you have a commercial usage license, which is perfect. We need that in order to actually be able to sell it on Etsy, to have a commercial license. I press T now to make a text element. And you do need Canva Pro in order to actually like upload fonts, but I'll upload it here. Yes, we want this one. And then we upload that. And it's called Senior Varsity. So we just search for Senior Varsity. Perfect. Yes, this one looks really good. So we want to use this stocking here. So maybe we can also see that the knitted patterns are doing very well. There's one more thing that I want to point out, and that's during every Q4 here, there is always a design style that's called the ugly Christmas sweater design style. That works super well. And if we can see here, yeah, these have that kind of pattern. So let's see here. Let's filter this. Physical items, ship to the US, star seller, swap out star for best, and then perfect. And this is shipped to the US, right? Yes. And it's this kind of vibe that I'm going for. There aren't that many selling yet, so let's just take away the bestseller badge. But when it comes to the ugly Christmas sweater, I'm looking for this kind of thing, or maybe something like this. This is obviously trademarks, so we can't use that, but this kind of thing. So let's see here. Okay, so we'll find a ugly Christmas sweater. Let's see if we can find a pattern like that. This one looks perfect. That's exactly what I want. Commercial and full POD usage allowed. Now, there's one thing that I want to point out, and that's sometimes when you use like elements on Creative Fabrica, there are people that have actually stolen it from someone else and then uploaded it to Creative Fabrica and there's a chance that you can get someone's other copyrighted material. So I always want to find common denominators within the shop itself to actually see if this shop probably has made it. And it probably has, because it has several different ugly Christmas style designs here. Yeah, several different versions of the same thing. So this one is definitely approved in my opinion. Just as like a safety guard to make sure that we're only downloading things that people have made, so we're not using other people's copyrighted stuff. So what we're gonna do now is that we're gonna open this, and then we're gonna, how big is this? So that's weird. This one was kind of small. Okay, so we'll not use that one. I just want a plain, simple, ugly Christmas pattern in a PNG or an SVG. Let's take this one. Commercial and full PD usage allowed. Yes, something like this is what I'm basically trying to find, because I just want the whole like pattern. Yes, this one is perfect. We'll use that one. So let's take this one. Let's make this blue. Let's take out the background. There we go. Now, what I usually do here in Canva is that I just go like this. I just go like this. What other elements in this design do we want? We want that last one too. So let's just take these. Something like this. Okay, so we basically want... So with these types of stockings, we can only customize the whole thing. So we can't customize like the top, like in some listings, you can't customize this part. The whole thing is basically customized. So I think it's important to like have a whole pattern on this. So let's maybe do something more like, and then we can take this, go to background remove right here again, just take out the text that's here, because that we don't want that. We only want a personalized name for this design, as that is the most important thing. So just take out all of this stuff. Okay, so there we go. Let's start off with that. Let's take this one here. Perfect. Let's add this one maybe. Wait, let's do it like this. Let's take this and this. Let's add that into here. And then we want this name to be personalized with any name. So let's just write, for instance, Sandra here. Sandra. Well, let's take a longer name. So let's take, for instance, what can we take? Let's take Eleanor. Something like this. We want it that big. We can separate these two a little bit. So let's do it like this. And let's maybe do it like shoof, like this. Let's take this down a bit. And we want this with a red, something like this maybe. Like a burgundy, dark red color. On a black shirt, this would look really good, I think. Perfect. And on a white shirt, it will look well too. Except for the white in there, I think. I'll stick with this. Yeah, probably, yeah. I might actually change like this part and then just take this one up here again, because the white thing up here, that can really like conflict with white garments, as white on white usually don't work very well. So it's easier to just have this whole thing colored better. So maybe do something like this. Yeah, so there we go. Here's our first Christmas stocking design based on our research from the best-selling elements list. So let's see here. No, this one actually had the white one again. So we have to do it like this. Copy this again, and then go like this, and like this, and then something like, yeah, something like that. And there we go. That's our design. We download this with a transparent PNG. Again, you need Canva Pro for this. So we insert this into here to see how it looks. Let's see here. We want this to cover the whole thing. So maybe this looks good. We can also get this in other colors, so like black or like red. Don't forget that you can actually customize this, like the background color here. So how I would maybe do this, like to add on top of this, is that I would just take out this, and then I would add this here. And then we add this design 2 into Printify. We make sure that the dimensions are the same. So like this, perfect. And then we just go ahead and crop it, because don't forget, you can actually edit this within Printify as well. It's usually not as smooth as Canva, for instance, but let's see here. Okay, we don't want to use that. Let's just do it like, take that away. We add that here. There we go. We get the same dimensions. There we go. And now we can, let's see, let's do it like that. Let's copy this. Let's copy it by pressing duplicate. Perfect. And then we duplicate it again. Perfect. Maybe we just actually do it like this. So we cover the whole area. Now the gray areas here are bleed areas, which means that the most important part of the design shouldn't be in there, because as some of these can be cut. But I think it's safe to say that since this is a whole pattern, I think it's okay to let it be cut a little bit if it needs to be, because the thing that we actually want to cover, that we want to have in the design most importantly, is the name. So that gotta be within the whole, like within these brackets here. So let's just take this up a notch. Let's just add it here. Let's add it. No, let's just keep what it was. Let's add another version. Let's do it like this, like that. Yes, like this. This would be something. And there we go. That's how we would add value into the Christmas stocking niche, because there's at the moment no bestsellers are using the college font as the personalization for the name. So this would be how I would add value into the Christmas stocking niche. And don't forget that you can actually customize the background or like the paint of the whole Christmas stocking itself, because it looks really good on black too. All right, so if you like this video and want to broaden yourself into more niches, then I suggest watching this video right here. It goes over a step-by-step process on how I do niche research in a simple and concise manner. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.